Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1278. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, which means it's Tuesday night auction day. So make sure to get those bids in. Tonight, we go live at 7 p.m. and we'll count down the final hammer to each of these auctions. Football auctions are ending tonight. A new batch of auctions will begin. This coming week's auctions will be just a hodgepodge. I've got baseball, I've got football, I've got non-sport. So just a hodgepodge of stuff in our next auctions. And we have concurrent auctions. Sunday night auctions began this past weekend. So those auctions end on Sunday night. There will not be another batch of Sunday night auctions, at least this week, maybe in the future. So next week they'll just be the one batch of auctions ending after Sunday night. So Sunday night's auctions that just started, those are all football. Get those bids in. I think Sunday night's auctions are actually better than this week's Tuesday football auctions. So get those bids in and tune in tonight, 7 p.m. Central. You can get your bids in at 99centcards.com. And on regular price, buy it now items, buy 7 or more, and you'll save 25% off at checkout. I did add even more inventory yesterday. I've added a ton of inventory over the last few days. It hasn't driven sales very much, though. I did add a whole bunch of the Archives, 2001 Archives baseball. I added a ton of Chris Sale rookie cards, which those actually did move. 68 Topps 4-in-1s. Those I think I added Sunday night. So I guess it was just, oh wait, these are the new 63 Topps base, 60, 61 and 63 Topps baseball, 66 Topps baseball. I always get those mixed up. And then some early 70s football, Wonder Bread All-Stars for football. So a lot of vintage went into my eBay store yesterday. And most of that vintage that I added yesterday, just $2 a pop. And of course, if you buy 7 or more of them, you'll get that 25% off. So check those out. What's going on? Happy Tuesday. Monday was another productive day. Another productive day. It's funny when weekends don't disrupt me, when I don't have stuff going on a weekend. And I just fly through the weekend and I get so much accomplished and I'm so productive. And then, these next 2 weekends, I've got a lot going on and it's going to be probably, going to set me back a little bit. But I didn't get much organizing done, but I did go through some more of the Goodwill pallet. Did I bring those cards in? So I did bring some more boxes down from the Goodwill pallet. I've pretty much gone through everything that's going to probably produce, although there are typically surprises in the Goodwill pallets. But for the most part, I think I've gone through most of what's going to be productive. There are actually, my back seat's still pretty full. So there might be some good stuff in the back seat. Might be duds. I don't know. In my hatch, I've still got a few boxes that could result in some decent stuff. What I like about these last couple pallets is, of course, there's been a lot of boxes of whether they're complete sets or partial sets, but they're like good stuff. Yeah, there's some 88 Topps, 89 Topps mixed in, but there's most of it's like 2001 to 2009. Which is kind of a dead time in the hobby. So it's fun, though, when I come across a box that has like pre-junk wax, post-vintage. It's that, do we have a name for that? It's pre-86. I think I'm going to lay it on the line. 86 is the beginning of junk wax. 86 to 92. Actually, I'd say 86 to 94. We'll stretch it out. 86 to 94. Now there's some products within the prime junk years, but then there's also some products 86, Donruss and Fleer, still not as mass produced as it was between 88 and 92. 93, 94, similar. But I had that post vintage, pre junk. So we're talking years 1980, and this is actually 1981 to 1985. And I'm going through, and it's basically a 900 count box full of stars and Hall of Famers, including the 1982 Topps traded Cal Ripken Jr. And it looks pretty nicely centered. Top and bottom, I can't really tell. I don't have a good eye on that, but I don't know if that's it looks a little top to bottom off center. Here I am. Check me out. Let's see. Those are 81 Topps Tim Raines. We got the 84 Topps Don Mattingly. We got the 85 Kirby Puckett. We got the 82 Topps traded Ozzie Smith, first Cardinal card, I believe. We got some 84 Donruss, Darryl Strawberry. Whenever I see this card, if I can get it for under $5, now I don't shop on eBay for these. If I'm at a card show and I find them for a couple bucks, I'll buy them. 84 Donruss, rated rookie, Joe Carter. And then 85 Topps Doc Gooden. I found even more Roger Clemens. I think I probably have 10 Roger Clemens, 85 Donruss, and Leaf rookie cards. So those have not gone into my eBay store. The stuff I found Sunday has not gone into my eBay store yet either. Some of the stuff I'm debating, do I run auction? Probably not. I think I can get a better sale price on buy it now, and that stuff's pretty liquid also, where it's not going to sit. So those were just some of the goodies that I found yesterday. It's every day is a new. This is unlike, and this is why I think this is the best Goodwill pallet, because every time I bring a load down, every time I'll fill a storage tub with these long boxes. And I'll bring them down. I'll open it up, and this is a dud. This is a dud. Oh, there's a Cal Ripken, Darryl Strawberry, Don Mattingly, Wade Boggs, Kirby Puckett rookie cards in this box. So like every adventure has resulted in some decent stuff. So I've still got some more stuff to bring in and go through. So some good stuff in the Goodwill palette. It's definitely the best Goodwill palette. I think I can say definitely the best Goodwill palette. Now there's been a lot of great Goodwill palettes, and pretty much every single one has been good, profitable. There was one, and I don't know which number it was, somewhere in the middle, and it was just a bunch of garbage. Now I still pulled some stuff, but I pulled a lot of like $1.50 eBay stuff, quarter box stuff. And yeah, there were probably some $20 cards and here and there, but it may not have been profitable. But 99% of the Goodwill pallets for me have been profitable. So this one's been real extremely fun, because there's also been vintage. One of the boxes that I brought down had a stack of 76 Topps football. No Peytons in this one. But I think with that one, I've had some pretty good success selling partial set starter lots on some of these vintage. It's stuff that I have just tons of in my eBay store. So I'm not, I'm at the point where if I didn't have, and here's my take on 70s starter lots versus singles. If I didn't have a lot of the inventory, I would list them as singles, no doubt about it. But 74 Topps, I think I probably have. I think if you look at 74 Topps combined football and baseball, I think I have almost 3,000. I don't know what the number is. I can probably look it up real quickly. but I know it's in the thousands of 74 tops between football and baseball. Most of that is from the estate sale, but 74 tops seems to be one of those years where it's just I find the most of any other 70s set. 1974. Oh, I gotta yawn. So 74 tops. There's probably going to be some basketball in this number as well. And then I'll get to my point here eventually as soon as my eBay loads. 1,990. So I've got 2,000 listings for 1974 tops between baseball and football and a few basketball. So in that regard, it's like if I have 74 tops football or baseball, that's going to be, I'm going to just partial set. I've actually been building a 74 baseball set. I've got to get that updated and I'm still missing a few. But a lot like 77 and 78, I have so much that now I'm just going to put 100 card lots together. And with 76 football, I think I might do that as well because I do know I have a ton of 76 football singles in my eBay store. And for the most part, I think these are all non-duplicates. And there's probably a stack of well over 100, maybe 200, maybe not quite 200. So I might do a starter set, partial set starter lot of 76 football. So that's kind of my standpoint where it comes to 70s partial sets. If I don't have singles in my inventory, they're going to be listed as singles. If I have 2,000 listed in my eBay store, okay, we're going to lot these out. And the key with any lot, the key is non-duplicates. Now, I've got some auctions running right now with a lot of duplicates. Bobby Witt Jr. lot is at auction right now. There's a Kumar Rocker lot that is up as well. Now, Bobby Witt Jr. does have a lot of cards. Kumar Rocker doesn't have that many cards, so it's hard to put together a 50-card lot or a 25-card lot without duplicates. So there are exceptions. But if you're talking like Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, any of the junk wax guys, there are so many cards. Create lots without duplicates. Even if you can't get to 50, do 25. If you can't get to 25, do 10. I see a much better sell-through rate on non-duplicate lots than I do if you have 100 Nolan Ryans, but there's 17 dupes or 25 dupes or whatever it might be. So that's my take. So check out my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. And tonight we go live, 7 p.m. Central. The weekly Tuesday night auctions ending tonight. And as these auctions end, new auctions begin. The auctions that start tonight will be a hodgepodge, baseball, football, non-sport. I think I'm holding back. I don't think I put any basketball or hockey. I'm going to wait until I do auctions on that stuff, on those sports, until we get closer to the season. Basketball is still, I don't know. Basketball seems like such a soft market. Maybe that's just because I don't move much basketball. I don't know. But we'll see. And maybe because we are approaching preseason, so maybe the hype is starting to build up for basketball. I'm not sure yet, but maybe not this week's auctions, but maybe next week we'll fire up some basketball auctions. Let's go to the chat. We're going to talk Topps Update Baseball today. Pre-sale goes live later today on the Topps website, and the prices are actually reasonable, in my opinion, for boxes. So box prices are pretty reasonable. I might actually buy a few boxes. I even tossed around, do I buy a case? We'll see. So Topps Update, we'll talk about that today. Let's go to the chat. Mr. Archer is checking in. Good morning. Kyle is in the house. Good morning. Andy Mack is here. What's happening? George is in the house. Good morning. Good evening to you. David is here. What's happening? Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. Terry McDaniel is here. Good morning. And there we go. He says, are you a buyer for Topps Update? I think I already spoiled the answer. We're going to talk about Topps Update. I think I am. Now, I haven't committed one way or the other, but I am contemplating. So I guess I don't have an answer right this minute. And it might be a game time decision. It might be when I log on to the Topps website later today. Do they have a time? What I do like about Topps is, yes, they are putting times where pre-Fanatics, Topps is like, actually, they didn't even announce pre-sale. They didn't even do pre-sale. It was like pre-Fanatics, say Topps update released today. They would just put a limited number of boxes on the website at random times. Sometimes it was 9 a.m., sometimes it was 11, sometimes it was 2. And you never knew. They never announced it. They didn't even announce they were putting boxes on the website. And they sold out super fast because they had such limited quantity because they were relying on distributors to distribute their product, whereas Fanatics is a distribution company, and they can handle that. So that's plus on the Fanatic side. So it looks like 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern, so noon on the East Coast at Topps.com. So at 11 o'clock, I'll find out if I'm a buyer or not. You know, if I mean, first you got to get in and get the opportunity. It's going to go fast, but I think they're going to print enough that, and they're going to have enough for sale that should get it. If you're there, man, why am I yawning so much? Whew. I think it's the you know, if you stay up late and get terrible sleep, like usually the first day it doesn't affect you, but then it catches up to you on day 2, and I think that's where I'm at right now. It's caught up to me because I stayed up late watching Sunday Night Football, and then I woke up. Two nights in a row, I woke up wide awake at 4:30 in the morning, and then I went back to sleep. I'm like, I don't want to get up this early. I go back to sleep, and I'm more tired. Like I'm not wide awake when I wake up at 6. I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired. So I think it's caught up to me. This is like the most yawning I've ever done. I need some mushroom coffee in me. I had some wacky dreams last night, though. I had a dream about, and I think now that I'm thinking about it, before I went to bed last night, I was scrolling through Reddit, and sometimes there's topic. It's like, I don't know what the thread, whatever they call it on Reddit, but it's like basically like scary story type stuff. And who knows, they're probably all made up. But one was about a guy who was renovating a house, and to save on rent, he decided he was basically flipping the house. And he was apparently renting. So he moved into the house instead of renting a house. So to save on rent, he's renovating this house at the same time. Which kind of, now that I'm speaking this out, it kind of seems backward that you're essentially homeless and flipping a house at the same time. Like, that doesn't add up. Like, shouldn't you have an established residence before flipping? Hey, maybe not. Maybe he's trying to, I don't know. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, an old lady lived in the house and she died in the house. And all this like wacky, scary, spooky ghost stuff is happening. And he said that I'm trying to think why I'm sharing this story, and it's the dream part. And he never had dreams until he started sleeping in this house. And now he has vivid dreams, and it's almost like reality, where like part reality, part dream. And I think we all experience that at times, where our leg hurts in a dream, and then we wake up and our leg's asleep, or we've got a Charlie horse. So anyway, I think that's why. So he's having these vivid dreams. I had this vivid dream last night. It was a lot of like my high school classmates, and which could be, and that could be like my subconscious. Anawan homecoming was last week. I'm talking about homecoming, talking about high school, sharing those stories. So that could have been still in the back of my mind, so that my brain opens that wave. And vivid dreams in high school. So a bunch of my high school friends, and it was like no, it wasn't post. It was like apocalypse now. It wasn't post-apocalyptic. It was now. And it was like the Russians had infiltrated So Whiffle's hybrids is this is fucking weird. No, I didn't drink last night, and I don't smoke. I wasn't doing. Maybe the mushroom coffee has some of that weird ass mushroom in it. So anyway, Whiffle's hybrids is this seed corn company, I guess, near where I grew up, in the neighboring town. And a lot of like my high school friends worked there, detasseled there in the summers, and did harvest work, I guess, in the fall. So anyway, we were working at. I was even working at. I never worked at Whiffle's, but we were all like, and I don't know if I was working there or if I was just like going to pick them up to go partiers. I don't know, but anyway, Whiffle's had like they were supplying food, corn. I don't know. They were supplying food, and the Russians potentially contaminated our food. And so it was like red alert. And like, I remember it being really warm, and I'm like, did I eat something that was contaminated? In my dream, I was thinking this, and I was like, warm, but I didn't know, like, is it not air conditioned because we were outside? Is everybody else warm? And then I woke up, and my wife put new sheets on. She put the winter sheets on the bed. And when she came home, it was kind of chilly in the house yesterday. And she turned the heat up just a couple degrees, but a couple degrees plus the winter comforter, I was warm. And so that was like mixing in with my dream. Weird ass dream. Anyway. Good morning, Brian. What's going on? Kyle says no NASCAR. No, it's gone. These like the first few pallets were like ton of NASCAR. Lately there's been a ton of hockey, like junk hockey. Now there wasn't all junk, like the 83, 84 O-Pee-Chee was in there, which I don't think I've sold a single. I listed a bunch of singles. Don't think I've sold a single of the hockey. But a lot of junk wax. Like I'm like, here's a small box, 90-91 score, 91-92 upper deck. So a lot of junk hockey, but I'm seeing a lot of junk hockey and like no NASCAR, like none. It's weird because the first several pallets, maybe binders, boxes, like one had a giant box of boxes inside. And, but I think that was probably the last NASCAR. Cooter's in the house. 81 Donruss put the junk in junk wax. So Cooter's going all the way back to 81. Sports Section Plus in the house. Good morning. Todd is here. Good morning. Great memories of collecting 81 to 85 as a young teen. I love those years because it's kind of like the early 80s is a lot like the early 2000s in terms of you just don't see it. Now, 10 years ago, you didn't say that about the early 2000s, but now we're 20 years removed from 02, 03, 04, and you just don't see that stuff as much. When I go digging through bargain boxes, what do you find? Most of the bargain boxes are fucking 2020 to 2024. It's like all modern shit. It's like, God, I would kill to have some 81, 82, 83, 2002, 2003, 2004. And I think that's why and I don't have memories from the early 80s because I didn't start collecting till the late 80s as a preteen. But I remember like some of my older cousins or older friends that had, or friends that had older siblings that collected in the early 80s. And I remember trading with some guys that I went to high school with. And the oldest brother was a senior when I was a freshman, but this is going back. We were in like grade school. I was probably in first, second, third grade. But he was 3 years older. So, I'm starting collecting in like 88, 89. So he probably would have started collecting in 85, somewhere around there. But he had like some 84. And I remember the Ron Hassey 84 Topps Cubs card, or 84 traded. So maybe it was the 85. And so that lines up to the lineage. 85 Topps, Ron Hassey and a Cubs. And I'm like, whoa, Ron Hassey, because I'm used to seeing all these Ron Hassey cards with the Oakland A's. Like, whoa, Ron Hassey played for the Cubs. And of course, this is long before the internet. So, you just didn't know that. So Carmelo Martinez, I knew him as a Padre, not as a Cub, but 84 tops, Carmelo Martinez. And all of these Cubs all of these players that had brief stints with the Cubs, but baseball cards in that 81 to 85 range. And then when I started collecting, and I collected Cubs early on, like in 89, 90. But when I got back into the hobby in 98, I'm going back and I'm buying, and by this time eBay's up. So I'm buying 84 tops traded, which, by the way, my first instance of not receiving mail was 1984 tops traded Cubs team set, which I bought in 98 or 99, probably 99 off eBay. I think I joined in 1999 off eBay. And it was in a bubble mailer, but this is pre-tracking. I don't even think you could pay for tracking yet. And it was ripped open, and my friend's mom was the postmaster or whatever in our town. And I remember going in and I got the letter in the mailbox, like the letter of doom or whatever. And I go in and talk to my friend's mom, and she's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. Cause it was like, I don't even know if they had insurance back then. Even if they did, this would have been like a $5-7 purchase in the 90s. And I just remember being out. And of course, back then, this is the Wild West, like the seller, like, yeah, it's not my problem anymore. It's your problem. So that was my first experience of the shitty side of the Postal Service. But now I have plenty of 84 tops traded Cubs cards, so it's okay now. Johnny Boy Cards in the house. Good morning. Todd says, by shopping your eBay this week, learned about mid-80s Leaf Donruss baseball sets. Had no idea. In fact, I don't have it in here. I have like a complete 85 Donruss Leaf set. And I found a couple straggler Roger Clemens rookies. But I think I'm going to break the set up and list singles when I get around to it. I've got a lot, which is good, a good thing, a good problem to have. Too much stuff to list it, but it also gets to a point where it's like, I need to get rid of this stuff. I got to list it first, right? Mikey's in the house. Good morning. Can you showcase my George Lombard 1 of 1 tonight or this morning for me? It ends Thursday morning. Yeah. How about we do it Thursday morning? We can check it out on Thursday. Bob's in the house. Good morning. I'll try to make the auction show tonight, 7 p.m. Central tonight. We're gonna watch the auctions. And I'm actually pretty happy so far with these auctions. And to be honest with you, I think the auctions that started on Sunday night, I think they're even better than these Tuesday auctions. So let's just give you a quick preview. I won't read through every auction item. Won't bore you to death like I usually do. But so here's some of the stuff. We've got Aiden Hutchinson. There's some RPAs at auction. The Miles Jack auto is only at 99 cents. By the way, if you bid on Miles Jack auto, that shouldn't be at 425. It was default because I was listing all these RPAs, the cards between them. So if you bid on the Miles Jack, it'll be I'll change it to 99-cent shipping. Just wait for me to invoice it. So if you're interested in the Miles Jack auto and you're like, I don't want to pay $4.25 shipping, I will drop that down to 99 cents on the shipping. Romeo Dobbs relic, Jahmyr Gibbs rookie relic, Kendre Miller image variation has a bid, but the RPA does not. I've got an RPA from Panini Black, which I think is a high-end product. I don't know anything about Kendre Miller. Let's find out. Let's Google Kendre Miller because there's a couple Kendre Millers. Kendre Miller. Why isn't Kendre Miller playing? Oh, he's on the IR. The 2023 third-round pick had issues with his knee, hamstring, and ankle as a rookie. and he's now been sidelined by another hamstring injury since making an early exit from the first practice of spring training. Well, that's not good. So that's why Kendre Miller is probably not selling. There's some rookie relics of Jonathan Mingo. Neither of those have bids. Travis Kelce, this is already at $550. So I'm happy with that price. Quay Walker autos at $5. I'm happy there. I've got 3 Cordero Patterson RPAs, National Treasures, Topps Chrome Gold, and Museum Collection. The Museum is numbered at 20. The Minka Fitzpatrick auto is at $11.89. I'm elated for that. Hopefully these high bids get paid. The Justin Jefferson Phoenix Contours is up to $325. That's above what I expected. A couple of the Tom Brady's are over $4, $4.25 and $5 on some of these. I'm happy with those prices. $325 on the 04 Upper Deck. Xavier Worthy, I thought this one might go for a little more at this. I thought it would be higher at this point. It's at $3. The Kellogg's 3D Superstars, these are crack-free in really nice condition. So I'm happy with where the bids are. Hopefully we get some more, but at $4, the Larry Zonka, which I thought would be the best of the best, I think is right in. I think is only at $3. The Ray Guy rookies up to $5. I'm happy with that for an auction price. The Ed Reed's up to $325. I'm really happy with that. The Zonka's only at $325. Thought that would be at a higher price. Maybe it goes for higher. The Brett Favre Sentinels Collector's Edge is kind of a not too many people like that product. So we'll see what that goes for. Urlacher rookies at $276. I'm happy there. The reseller lot is up to $34 plus shipping. If you are close to Madison, local to Madison, I will waive the shipping price and we can arrange for a time to pick it up in person to save you $17 on shipping. And Dwight Freeney is at over $5. So those are the auctions ending tonight, and we'll stream live starting at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. Brian says it's off season for basketball. But this is in terms of hype, and I don't know the basketball hobby cycle, but this is like the prime time for baseball and football. This would be the prime time in terms of where basketball is in its off season. So it's because preseason probably starts in less than a month. Does it start like early October? I'm assuming preseason starts in a couple of weeks. Let's Google it. So this is like prime time for what it should be prime time. NBA preseason. October 4th are the first games. So we are smack dab in what should be hype season for NBA. Orlando's in the house. Good morning. Mark Marinello's in the house. Good morning. 1974 baseball and football will always have a special place in my heart. First sets I completed as a kid. Very cool. Victor's here. Good morning. Go Cubs and the Bears. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Johnny M's here. Good morning. Is there a Chrome product coming out this week? I think, is it Sapphire? Is it Chrome Sapphire might be coming out? Let's go to the Topps website. Let's see. Topps update. Topps Chrome Sapphire, I think, is coming out. Sports Section Plus says wide awake at 4:30 a.m. is a good thing. Time for listing. There you go. Mark says, I'm always afraid of having a dream where I'm taking a leak. Never know. Oh, yeah. The older we get, the more concerned we can be. Cooter says, maybe when you are here, House Ghost will pay us a visit. Uh-oh. See, I don't believe in ghosts. And I think maybe since I don't believe in ghosts, I'm just not, I think, I'm not saying they're not real, but I just don't, I have never experienced what I would consider a true, now there's been some weird shit I lived in a house in Macomb. I should Google the address, like, or not Google, but like look up old newspaper articles and see if like any weird like murder shit happened in that house. But that was the only time. And I think it was just, I was in my early 20s, so I was probably drunk or hungover anyway. But there were some weird, and it was usually like first thing in the morning. But it was also, it was the main floor of a house, old house. And it was chopped up into like 5 apartments. There was a basement. The fucking basement guy was a fucking lunatic. He's probably the murderer of whoever was murdered in that house. And I'm lucky it wasn't me, because I would fuck with him constantly. He was a weird, and the scary thing is though, he played with like swords. He did that like fucking that. I don't want to call it weird shit because I collect baseball cards, but like when you go out into parks and you swing a sword and you like dress up in weird shit. He did that stuff. And he had swords, which I should have been afraid of, but I was in my early 20s. I didn't give a fuck. And he and his girlfriend had really loud sex, which was really funny. And I would mock, like, can you imagine having some asshole upstairs like making fun of your sex? And then he would pound. So he was in the basement. So he would pound his ceiling if I had music on loud or we had a party. He was just a fuckstick. Anyway, so that was the basement. I lived on the main floor. There were 2 apartments upstairs, and then there was an attic apartment. And I had control of the thermostat. Like, how fucking backwards is this? Like, what? Like, one tenant controls, and it would be, I can't remember, heat rises. So it was probably the upstairs or even the attic. And they're like, it's so hot up here. And I'm like, it's fucking cold down here. I'm not turning the heat up or heat down. But that house, like, I lived on the main floor, and a couple times I would hear like weird shit. But I don't think it was in when you have other apartments, like, noises were probably from another apartment. So, but I never, in fact, there were like, the downtown Macomb is said to be haunted, and like some of the buildings are more haunted than others. And so there was this guy that did haunted ghost tours. And so when I was in radio, it was like, we're going to, do, me and my co-host, we're going to do this ghost walk. He was on, we had the guy on the morning show, and all right, we're going to do and then of course the next morning we talk about it. So we do this ghost tour, and it was so fucking hokey. It's like, so I think I actually believed in ghosts until I took a ghost tour. And then I'm like, this is so fucking hokey. Like, there was like the door swung and they're like, nobody touched that. It's a ghost. It's like, bullshit. It's a fucking ghost. This hokey bullshit. So hopefully I'm not like, hopefully knock on is not going to, hopefully I don't experience the house ghost at Cooter's house. Tracy's here. Good morning. Brian's in the house. Good morning. The other Brian says Red Dawn comes to Hobby Evolution. Yeah, it was very similar. My dream was kind of like Red Dawn. I mean, it was kind of paralleled. The Russians, they weren't bombing us or threatening us with nuclear war. It was just they're gonna fuck with our food sources. Brian says, Offbeat All-Stars pulled an Adley Rushman 1974 mint nickel rookie yesterday from my box of Heritage. Pulled it from the second to last pack. Thought the box was a bust. See, one pack can change your luck. Porter, good morning. I wish Topps would release a checklist prior to pre-order. Amen. Amen. I went online. I'm like, let's preview. And I think that's even what, I titled it 2024 Topps Update Preview. There's not much to preview because we don't have a checklist. We can preview the prices and the time they go on sale, but I agree with you. Hopefully they do release a checklist before release. I mean, we know Paul Skeens is going to be in it. Paul Skeen's rookie cards are in Topps Update. That's going to be the big draw. Other than that, who knows? Brian says, what's the site you use for comps? I just use eBay Sold. 130 point is basically eBay Sold, but it shows the prices of offers that were accepted. Otherwise, probably the best ones are you have to pay for, like Market Movers, Card Ladder. Those you have to have subscription for. So I just use eBay Sold. I mean, usually what I'm comping, the other stuff is good for like auction house stuff. But if you're comping like an Adley Rushman Heritage, eBay is going to be your best bet. You know, I don't think a Golden or REA or Heritage is going to have that type of card on an auction. And the stuff that I'm looking up, again, eBay is going to be. If you're looking to comp a 52 Topps Mantle, I wouldn't suggest eBay. But for the most part, I think eBay Sold is the best place for comps. Johnny M says, sorry, but I just can't watch other people's auctions end if I'm not vested. But good luck. Well, thank you. No worries. We won't hold it against you. Brian says, Porter, you might want to wash after either way. Paul says, good morning. What's up? Mikey says, at least it wasn't a wet dream. It wasn't. It wasn't a wet dream. No. A LARP. Yes, he was a LARPer. Cosplay, Renaissance fair shit. Yes, that's the type of stuff he was into. George says, so your downstairs neighbor was John Mangini. They make more money off the mystery of people speculating what's in the product. They have no reason to change. And it is. And that's something that's changed with Fanatics, where they don't release the checklist and they don't release the schedule, the product release schedule. Where, you know, before Topps, when it was pre-Fanatics, Topps released the entire calendar year of products. Okay, 2024 Topps Update is going to release on September 30th or whatever day the release is. 1 week before it releases on, say, Wednesday, whatever Wednesday is, the October 1st, I guess. Wednesday, October 1st, or wait, today's Tuesday, whatever the fucking Wednesday is, September 30th, whatever. I don't know, say it's September 30th. September 23rd, the week before, you're going to get a Topps Update checklist like clockwork. Now, you don't know what time it's going to release, but at some point, 1 week before release day, it's going to be published. And then on the Topps website, you have no idea. You know on release day, the actual release day. So if release day is September 30th, you know it's on September 30th. Topps is going to release a limited amount of product, hobby boxes, for sale. You don't know what time. They don't announce the time. But now with Fanatics, they don't release a product schedule. You have no idea when products are coming out until about a month before. And then they say, hey, Topps Update, we're going to pre-sale it on September 17th. And they give you the time, 11 a.m. Central. But they don't give you a checklist. So, and I think there's the mystery and speculation. I think that works with some product releases, but it doesn't with others. I think in this instance, we're speculating Paul Skeens, which I think he's been confirmed in the product. So there's that Paul Skeens speculation, like, well, we better get it if Paul Skeens is in it. But I think it blows up in their face on Bowman, because Bowman's a product where the price, it's like, well, if I don't know who's in the product, I'm not going to speculate on this or this and spend $350 on a hobby box and it's a shitty checklist. So I think it blows up in their face with some releases. However, people are still buying. People will buy it with a checklist. People will buy it without a checklist. Why are wax prices so high? Because people are buying. And it's not you and me that are driving up wax prices. And, you know, I know I love breakers. But breakers is the reason why wax prices are so high. And I shouldn't say we, but I am part of it because I do buy into brakes on occasion. But those that are buying into brakes are driving the wax prices to go up. And sometimes I see the people complaining about wax prices being so high. Wax prices are so high, so I only buy into brakes. Well, you're the reason wax prices are so high. Because who buys the large majority of wax? Breakers. And who's buying into brakes? People that are buying, I don't want to say you because you might not be braking, but people that are buying into brakes are buying into brakes, driving up those prices. And breakers can keep, we're supply and demand, driving up the prices. So that's my soapbox. Brian says, I couldn't find it in eBay sold. So you can do something similar. So, I mean, since it's a rookie, it's kind of hard. What was that last year? 2020, Adley Rushman Heritage rookie. So sometimes you got to get creative. So 2023 Heritage Adley. Let's do, is this yours? So there's one on eBay right now. Oh, that's the wrong screen. So there's one on eBay right now. Is that yours? So there's one on eBay right now, 175 or best offer. It's a new listing. That might be yours since it's a new listing. Otherwise, and if it is yours, that's a good strategy to take, and then fish for offers. And typically, especially a player like Adley Rushman, you're going to get good offers. You're going to get a lot of shitty offers probably, but you're going to get some good offers. And usually those early offers are going to be the best. Let's find sold. There we go. So if you can't find comps, you can't find sold comps, look at current listings. And obviously the current listings haven't sold. So it's that price or less. I don't see anything. So nothing on sold, at least in a quick search. So my thought would be, if you can't find any sold comps, list it at a high price and start taking offers. And usually there's going to be some decent offers come in. Say you list it for 175. If somebody comes in and offers you 150, take it. If all of a sudden you get like 3 or 4 offers of 150, you might have it underpriced. I've done that before. It's like, I'll list something for $5, and this is on a small scale, but I'll list something for $5, and I'll get like $4 offers and $4.50, like 3 of them, and it's like, and then I'll look at comps, and it's like it's a $15 card, and it's like, decline, reprice $15, and then it sells for like 12. It's like, okay. Let's see. Max says, Brian, I find 5 solds from March 8th through July 22nd, ranging from 75 to 494. I figure 75 to 1,003, 75 to 100. It all gets open. Doesn't matter. Breakers is why. A lot of sheeple. Brian says, consumers are hurting themselves buying wax. Tale as old as time. I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah, and we keep buying it. That's why I don't complain about wax prices, because I'll still, for the most part, and if I'm priced out, I just don't buy it. I love Bowman. I love ripping Bowman. Bowman Mega. We talked about this yesterday. Bowman Mega Boxes. I would fill my cart with them at $20, at 15, hell, even at 30. But at 50, fuck that. I'm not buying a single Bowman Mega Box for that price. But I don't care. Like, it's like, it is what it is, and I'll move on. Joe Caprino says 130 Point is a great site for sold listings. Johnny M says, I used to get into a ton of breaks and open lots of high-end products. It's the gambler in me. Now I buy some low-end boxes here and there. I would rather buy lots off Facebook. Same. Same. I get more enjoyment out of buying bulk lots and collections and Goodwill pallets than I do buying wax. I mean, you know what's in wax for the most part, but a Goodwill pallet, there's a lot of good stuff, maybe, in a Goodwill pallet. Brian says, Bowman makes Bo happy like the cheapest shit at Walmart makes me happy. There you go. Paul says, I get my gambling fix when I buy singles out of a dollar box to flip without comping first. There you go. There you go. I have not shopped a bargain box in a while. So I'm looking forward to next weekend. Madison Card Show, Saturday, September 28th. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, sold out with an extremely long waiting list. I think I have a longer waiting list this month than what I did with tables and waiting list for last month, which I could have filled 250 tables last month. It's been insane. Maybe next week we'll do an auction for a table. Like I'm going to leave one table open and we'll put it at auction. Who wants a highest price? Get it on the auction. We'll auction off. We'll have a live auction Saturday or next Saturday at the Madison Card Show. We've got 2 tables to the highest bidder. Max says, what's wrong with bitching about prices? Nothing's wrong with bitching about prices. I don't see the point in it. Max says, same Paul, only when I buy collections, but usually it's very calculated. Paul says, I just got hooked again when I stopped at my LCS last week because I had time to kill. Saw a 1998 Fleer Tradition insert I never saw. So I scooped it up. Was a $50 card. That's something that I need to be really mindful of this stuff in the Goodwill pet. Like there was an Antonio Gates rookie numbered to 625. And I'm like, it's Antonio Gates. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but And the last 2 have sold for $110. And I thought like, I might be able to get $2 or $3 out of it. So it's in my eBay store for $125. I've got some $60 offers. I countered at $110, which is like right in line with the last couple solds. Let's see what the Antonio Gates rookie of 625. Let's see. No, they're not showing up. Oh, there it is. $108.50 plus $5 shipping. So that sold for what? About $113, $114. There was one other one. Actually, if I do highest priced, there was only 2 of them. And this is why eBay search, like it says 0 results for Antonio Gates rookie of 625. Well, maybe this one doesn't have rookie in the title, the one that I found. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, it does. It says rookie. It says Antonio Gates rookie of 675. Huh, weird. Anyway. Max says shops around here don't have bargain boxes, and the ones that does has probably the worst bargain boxes I've ever looked in. There are not too many card shop bargain boxes I've found that were good. Surprisingly, one of the best bargain boxes I looked through, of course, this was also during the COVID boom, was our shop here in Madison on University Avenue, which is, it's it's okay, I guess. But anyway, it had some, because I don't think the bargain boxes had been gone through in a while, and they hadn't been updated or prices hadn't changed since the boom. And a lot of the card, like a Justin Verlander rookie, was in there for like $3. And I think in the boom, I sold it for 40 or 50. There was an Alex Verdugo rookie autograph that was like $6. I think I sold that for 50. So there was some like really good stuff in there that I was able to flip for a nice price. The Jennings card shop in Freeport, I mean, that has by far the best bargain boxes. And probably the only like bargain boxes I've ever found at a card shop that were worth a shit. So card shops, I think, and that's just like everywhere. Card shops just don't have good bargain boxes. Brian loves it. So Topps update goes on pre-sale today. I don't know when release. Does it say? Doesn't even say when the release is. Let's share this tab. Let's put this on. Oh, where are we at? There we go. So we got Topps update coming today on pre-order at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. Checklist is not out yet. Odds are not out yet. We don't have any release dates, but I'm assuming within the next 3 to 4 weeks. So hobby boxes, $87.99. You get one autograph or relic card per box, which is standard for flagship. Hobby jumbo box, $195. And you get one autograph guaranteed and 2 relic cards guaranteed. So what's the price point on a per card basis? I like the jumbo box because you get those autos, but a lot of times the autos are like $5 autos. So it's really like, so you get 20 times 12, 240, 88 divided by 240 is, so you're paying 37 cents per card pre-tax on a hobby box. And I guess pre-shipping, unless I don't know, do they charge shipping? So you're looking probably 40 cents a card, somewhere in that vicinity. Let's see. Hobby jumbo box, you're getting 400 at 195 is 48.7 cents. So you're paying about 50. So there's about a 15 cent per card difference between a jumbo and a hobby, but you're guaranteed 3 hits in a jumbo. One of those being an autograph. So that's your price breakdown. Hobby and jumbo. I guess it kind of depends if you're a set builder and you want a better bang for your buck on base, hobby box is the way to go. If you want the hit, jumbo box is the way to go. The odds are not with you on hobby box getting an autograph. I think autographs in hobby typically they fall in like one every 4 or 5 boxes. I think one every 4 boxes would be 3 in a case. So yeah, probably, well, 1 in 3 or 4 boxes. I think it's 3 or 4 per case. So that's your breakdown. Again, goes live today, 11 a.m. Central. Am I a buyer? I don't know. What was I just talking about 40 minutes ago? I've got too much shit to list already. Do I want more to list? Not necessarily. So now that I think about it, I'm probably not a buyer. I'm probably just going to sit this one out. Also, I sat Pro Debut out. I always sit Series 2. I'm not a Series 2 fan for some reason. Just never have been. But Allen and Ginter, I think, is on pace for a late October release. They haven't announced anything, but we'll see. Typically, fourth quarter is when I buy the most amount of wax. It's usually when most of the releases that I like to rip and flip, come out. Plus, it's Christmas time, and a lot of the retailers have great sealed wax deals. Blowout, namely. Steel City and David Adams also have some good deals sometimes. So I typically buy a lot of wax in the fourth quarter. Where are we at? Paul says, my boxes at the antique mall are pretty solid, I think. Mostly 50 cent to $2 cards, and I price them at ComC prices with 25% off 10 or more and 40% off 50 or more. All are top loaded. You are making us do math. That's a lot of math to do. Max says, university is better than the other in your area. LOL. Way better. Have you been to those card shops? I'll have to disagree. Paul says, I've been growing the selection, but the revenue hasn't grown proportionally yet. Kyle says, when we were at Jennings last year, I bought a Danica Patrick auto. It graded a 10 and 10 for the auto. Just got it back from CGC. Nice. That's enough. I'm looking forward to. I forget. I've still got stuff off at grading. I should have. I'll have my Peyton back from SGC. I'll have my Cubs submissions from SGC. I think I subbed like 5 or 6 tobacco cards, Cubs tobacco cards to SGC. I won't have my, I subbed a SP Jeter rookie to PSA, so I probably won't get that back until October. And then my ticket, my Triple H ticket stub, which tickets take a long time, so I have no idea when I'll get that back. Troy's in the house. Good morning. Paul says, I'm testing some lot auctions on eBay now. Player lots of 10 to 20 cards per lot. That's my main focus outside of coding the app right now. Trying to snipe more cards for raw to grade 2. Max says, prices at 1 are awful. Interesting. I honestly, I can't give an honest opinion because I haven't been to the University Avenue shop in over a year. So, I guess I can't offer an opinion. Brian says, real quick question. I'm going to give kids free packs of cards for coming to my show. What product would you suggest? I'm thinking big league for baseball. I think that's a decent product to give out. If Topps update is out by that time, that would be a good. Now you can probably get Topps Big League for a much cheaper price. Yeah, I would say big league because you can get that at a cheap price. And it's just free packs. So there's no sense in spending, a bunch of money on free packs for kids. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think big league's a good choice. Max says, went there once on the way home from Madison, wanted to buy a box to rip on the way home. It was like $50 over retail. I did notice when I was there, might've been their grand opening. There was a product that I wanted, that I was going to buy, but it was way over online prices. And I get it. Like I get why, but I just didn't buy. And it's one of those things where if it would have been priced a little better, like I'll pay up to like $20 over retail. 50 is extreme. Like I'm not going to pay $50 over retail for something to rip. But I'll gladly pay 10 or 20 over retail. But yeah, when it gets up that high, and the product that I wanted to rip was, I think it was Bowman Chrome from last year, or no, it was Bowman Draft. I think it was Bowman Draft. I think it was 2020. It wasn't 2022 Bowman Draft. Maybe it was 2023, but it was like $50 higher than retail. And that's just too much. Like, and it's because it's not something that I'm going to go buy online. But if I'm at the store, like, oh, hey, Bowman Draft. And if it's within $20 of retail online prices, I'll buy it. Fun rip. I'm not going to order it online, but okay, I'll agree with you on that. Porter says, how did you settle on your 25% off 7+ promo? I don't have the following that you do, so I have to be more aggressive with my promo. 40% off 8+ has worked for me, but if would like to trim that back. So I think, building your audience and it's not going to happen over. This is, a business isn't built overnight. And you can't expect results. You can't go on Whatnot or eBay Live and your very first time doing a sale. You can't expect to make money, especially on Whatnot. You're going to lose money. And that's just something you have to realize going into it. Now on eBay, you can control that much more because it's mostly buy it now. But you can run auctions. I hate auctions, but I'm starting to love them now. In terms of promos, I mean, the best way the best way to get less aggressive is you say trim that back, trim the fat. What's not selling? What's not selling in your store? And either if you're up against the wall with listings, trim that back, cut the fat. I'm going to be cutting fat out of my eBay store. There's going to be a bunch of shit that I'm like, okay, this isn't selling. I'm not to that point yet. I will be soon, very soon. I think I'm up over 58,000 listings now. So I'll trim the fat. And so some of that is listing auctions now. 50 a week isn't going to trim much fat out of my eBay store on stale listings that I run at auction. But list good items at good prices, and people will come. And as long as you list consistently and you list consistently good liquid items at good competitive prices, people will buy and then they will come back. And if you consistently list, people will return. And that's how you build your base. And then every once in a while, sprinkle in 50% off. I would just say, hey, I just cut your 40% off 8+, cut that back. Do 25% off 8+, 25% off 10+. Promote your items. If you're doing 2%, bump it up to 5% or even 10%. And then cut back. If you're not promoting your items and you're doing a 40% off promotion, cut that promotion back from 40% to 25% and lift your promotion base. And you're going to catch more eyes. Now, people aren't going to get that big of a discount. But it's one way to potentially get more people into your store while saving some on your end. But I think that the biggest key is listing better stuff at better prices, and that's how you build a book of business, and then you build off of that and just list consistently. Where are we at? Max says, do the trick or trade Pokemon and score football, basketball? That's another one. That's another good one. Max, I like that idea, but I wanted to give them something different because I feel like there will be a ton of that for Halloween, but I may. If your show is before Halloween, they're not sick of it yet. You beat everybody else to the punch, and then when they go trick-or-treating and they get all of those packs, they're going to blame the people in the houses, not Brian at the card show, because you were the pioneer of giving packs away. So there you go. Because I think your show's before Halloween. So it's not like they'll be excited to get it because they haven't got them yet. So they'll be excited to get those packs at your card show, and then they'll be disappointed at Halloween. So give them away at the card show, and then give candy away. If you're giving anything out at Halloween, give candy away. Don't give the packs away because you gave them away at the card show. Philly Joe says, Brian, just make sure your giveaways are current players. Yes, I agree 100%. Kids don't want cards of players they don't know. 100%. You're doing giveaway. Don't give away junk wax to a 10-year-old because, they've likely never heard of, who is Ron Kittle? Who is Nelson Santovina? Who is Eric Plunk? Current players, 100% agree, Philly Joe. 100% agree. Same at Halloween. Don't give junk wax away. If you're making repacks for Halloween, give current players. Max says, exactly, I'll never be back in there. It was a huge waste of time. What a lot of volume sellers fail to understand is that the bigger your inventory gets, the more valuable each individual card becomes to the buyer. Think one-stop shop. Brian says to Philly Joe, thank you. 2023 Big League is probably fine. $30 a hobby box would mean some good cards for kids. Soto, Ohtani, you're going to have old jerseys. There you go. And I think that's okay. Max says, also from what I have seen, kids don't care much for baseball. They want football. Yeah, football. Yeah, those Halloween football packs could be a good draw for free packs for kids. Johnny M says, I alternate promos between buy 3+ and get 25% off and a flat rate 10% off anything works good for me, but I have a smaller store, 7,800 listings. Max says, sounded like a Woodman's commercial there. Oh, what was that? I hate the Woodman's commercials. Those are my Woodman's commercials are up there in my hatred, along with any used car lot commercial. Mad City, is it Mad City Motors? Oh my God. Although I haven't heard, did they go belly up or something? Because I haven't heard their commercials on the radio. But I used to hear them all the time, and it drove me fucking nuts. I hate car commercials, car lot commercials, car dealership commercials. Brian says, Max and Bo have sold me. There you go. Max says, it's free too. Remember, don't overthink it. That's a good point. Yeah. You said better products, better price. Oh, better products, better prices. You just forgot the because we're employee owned. Johnny M says, if you gave me and friends cards instead of candy, you were getting egged. It might as well have been an apple. Now, I would have loved cards. I would have prevented the egging if I got cards at Halloween. Mad City Baths is fine, and Feldco. I like Feldco. All right. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit up my eBay auctions, 99centcards.com. Get some deals. Max says, Woodman's greater than Whole Foods. I don't shop either. I prefer Hy-Vee. But I don't shop at Hy-Vee. I'm an idiot. I prefer Hy-Vee, but I never shop there. I shop at Metro Market because it's close, and I know it. Woodman's annoys the shit out of me. I like their prices. They have better products, better prices because they're employee owned. But it's just a fucking madhouse. I hate Woodman's. I hate going there. I hate the experience of shopping at Woodman's. But I will go there if I have to bring if I have to go get a bunch of supply. If we're having a party, which we rarely do, once every 5 years, I'll go to Woodman's to get, because it's cheaper. Whole Foods is expensive. I never go to Whole Foods. So Woodman's, Whole Foods, it's a horse apiece for me. Andy Max says, Woodman's rules. Orlando says, another fun morning. Thank you, sir. Alrighty, join me tonight, 7 p.m. Central. We will go live and stream tonight's auctions that are ending, football auctions. Don't forget, there's also auctions running that started on Sunday night, and I think those are even better auctions than what are ending tonight. But get those bids in. And new auctions begin tonight, starting at 7:15 Central. And we've got a mishmash of baseball, football, non-sport. You know what? I've still got more auctions to add for tonight, to start tonight. So let's flirt with basketball. Let's throw some basketball up and just see what the market is for basketball here a couple weeks before preseason games start. So I'll throw in some basketball auctions as well. Sports Section Plus says, me and the wife will hit up Woodman's in the wee hours of the morning. That's a really good idea while everyone is sleeping. Unfortunately, I'm also sleeping in the wee hours of the morning. I used to shop at I don't mind Walmart anymore, but I also go during the week at 2 in the afternoon. But when I had a job, am I muted? I'm not, I don't think I'm muted. But when I had a 9-to-5 job and you have to go when everybody else goes, it's fucking annoying. So I would go to Walmart at midnight. That's also when I could stay up until midnight. I can't stay up past 10 o'clock anymore. So Max says, hence why I like living in a smaller mid-pop town. Better now. I hear him. All righty. So everybody can hear me. Get your bids in. Check it out, 99centcards.com. A bunch of vintage added to my eBay store at buy it now prices. Early 60s baseball, 60, 61, and 63. Also 67 tops baseball. Added some vintage football, 68 tops 4-in-1s. I added to the eBay store on Sunday night. So a bunch of new vintage has hit the eBay store, 99centcards.com. And when you buy 7 or more, you'll save that 25% off at checkout. Now you can now you can subscribe. And we'll do this. We'll kind of do this again tonight at 7:00 p.m. Central Time as we go eBay auctions live. If you don't join me tonight, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central.